You've been aggravated since we turned the mics on.
I don't know what it is. I don't have time to think about that right now.
Sure and Hardy. It's ridiculous. The Sports Hub. A couple things on the North Carolina program. We'll start with this. Gio Lopez is the quarterback that they paid $2 million to last year so they could lose 7 games. He now has transferred to Wake Forest. And he said, back at the other school, which he means North Carolina, it felt like there was no air. Here it's fun again. They're moving us in the right direction, energized, and the guys are enjoying football. It's like fresh air. It was more like work at North Carolina. After the first game, it felt like getting through the day. You don't want to live like that, where you're up at night thinking about the next day. Now, Lopez's father, Barney, who really has no business talking to the media. His son is essentially a professional athlete. He's being paid millions of dollars to play football. His father should probably stay out of it. Like, for instance, if my son was ever to play college athletics, which is the hope, I will not be commenting on my son's college athletic career other than to say I was at a game. I would never start talking about the program if he was having a bad time or if he was having a good time. It's not my place. Once they're in college, they're the organization, they're the school's responsibility.
Also, credit to that kid for growing up to be an athlete with a father named Barney. That's tough.
Oh, because you're such an Andy Griffith.
Maybe that. I mean, do you think Barney Fife ever A, fathered children, or B, fathered children that would grow up to be superior athletes?
No, but he had a strangely attractive girlfriend.
Oh, Thelma Lou.
Yeah.
Plus, he had his side piece, Juanita, down at the diner.
Oh, okay.
They call me Bonnie Trouble.
That's right. And UNC, if you're wondering, is there's 17 teams in the ACC, and they are ranked 15th. And the
so that's toward the bottom.
Yeah, and the team, I'm a season ticket holder for the team that is ranked 16th. I've paid $700 for my
I'm shocked they're ranked that high. Oh, good.
It would be nice if they can win. I can walk the Boston College football games. I go to them. I have a group of friends I got season tickets with to go to the Boston College games. I enjoy it. My son won't go, but I do enjoy going. But here's the main story. Bill Belichick, they're the 33rd NFL team. You can tell by the success his players had in this year's draft. How many guys went from North Carolina?
0.
That would be 0.
Zero.
Yeah. The 33rd NFL team is yet to create a NFL product.
Rare.
In a 7-round draft.
Surprising.
There is a team that is in an era of in a well-funded team too. A team with plenty of NIL money to spend. They couldn't find one kid to get drafted. He couldn't develop one kid. He only had 1 year. So what? Calipari went to Arkansas. They got 2 kids going in the first round in the mock draft I just saw. You can turn that around. Bring a kid in, coach him up over the course of the year. I mean, look at the quarterbacks. The kid that was supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft the day after last year's draft went in the 4th, 5th round. The Clemson kid. Nussmeier from LSU was supposed to be some hot-ass quarterback. Drew Aller. There was talks of him going in the top 5. 1 year, make or break your career as a college player. A lot of pressure on you. You couldn't turn any of those kids into NFL players? Machi, you coached in the NFL. If anything, you should know exactly. Yeah. But the Patriots weren't going to take any of your kids because you wouldn't let them look at them. So out of the 32 teams, they only had the opportunity to be seen by 31 of them, which is an excellent thing. When there's 32 jobs, places to get jobs, and they take one away, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, something tells me that could hurt recruiting. If you're not going to have any fun. And you're not going to win, and you also have no hopes of being drafted by the NFL. Is that going to influence a young man's decision?
You left out the circus around the head coach.
Okay, so yes. I guarantee. So they got apparently a pretty good recruiting class this year. If they don't win and they go, we're building the program, I'm going Indiana. If they go, wait, but we're building something here. Indiana. He did it right away. Indiana. He did it immediately. And that's inarguably a worse job than North Carolina. Inarguably. You're in a horribly tougher, way tougher conference. It's not even questionable how difficult that conference is. And he won a national championship, you moron, and he's a nobody. And he went in there and he changed things around. But nothing. I'm paying you. Win. I'll tell you, but we need to do. Lombardi, we're developing these kids. No, you don't get to do that. Because they're all going to leave once they see how unfun it is. Coaches get fired after 2 years.
You don't build programs anymore. You go year to year.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Everything I say is Indiana back to them. Mm-hmm. But Indiana did it. But it's a basketball school. North Carolina's a basketball school. What's Indiana?
Yeah, they didn't hire you to keep it a basketball school. They hired you to make the football program better.
A guy in a way worse situation than you're in, a no-name, turned the loser football program into a national champion. Guess what? Now they got the only good kid on Michigan State transferring there. He's got a whole operation going on over there.
It's not just that it's a loser program. It's one of the worst college football programs ever. It's Indiana and Northwestern are the two worst college football programs in the FBS over the last 25 years until Cignetti showed up.
Yeah, you got to go against these schools with unlimited budgets. Yes, I would imagine it's difficult. There's like one school in the ACC. You got two schools, Clemson and Florida State, and now you don't even really have to worry about them.
Well, Miami, kind of.
Oh, yeah, Miami, sorry. Miami. I apologize. Miami, you always have to worry about, yes.
Correct.
All right, so here's what's going on at UNC now.
High-end cars taking up handicapped spaces across UNC's campus. The suspected drivers, football players.
Zolak going down there?
Did he say IROC?
Well, he's got to wear sunglasses, so he's got that. Again, there was a whole underground business apparently at Michigan State where they were selling handicap placards to put on your car. It seems like something that would get you into a hell if there is one. Taking up people's handicap spots if you're not handicapped.
Did I tell you that I got a parking violation notice in the mail?
No.
From when my daughter went down to visit her friends at UConn. 2 parking tickets totaling $160.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
And I'm talking to her on the phone over the weekend. I'm like, hey, do you want me to just withdraw this from your account, or do you want to, hand over the cash when I see you next week? She said, you don't have to pay him. I said, oh, is that right? She goes, yeah, my friends told me to park in these places, and since I don't go there, you don't have to pay him. I thought, you may be right. I'm gonna look into that.
Oh, you're out of your mind if you pay those. Are they from the University of Connecticut?
They're from UConn.
Yeah. Oh, why would you
screw that?
No. How would you possibly pay a parking ticket from there? They're not the police.
Oh.
This is just the latest issue involving Carolina's football culture off the field since the arrival of Coach Bill Belichick.
The previous WRL investigation found high rates of speeding, reckless driving against team stars. Aside from the new parking concerns.
Wait a second, you give a 19-year-old $20 million and he's running around like a jackass? That's surprising to me. You would think they'd be more responsible.
We also found the driving...
And by the way, good for you to get like $1 million from a school and go buy a Lamborghini with it. It's a solid investment.
Behavior is still an issue.
Photos of parking problems and emails sent from concerned staff to athletic leadership. As we found in the fall, the offenders are mainly big-time transfers and star players who decided to stay at Carolina.
Our conduct outside of the building, outside of the program, is important to us, and we stress that.
That's UNC football coach Bill Belichick.
Yeah. It's the same standard he holds his girlfriend's cheerleading squad to.
We don't care. That's a great line. He's something else.
Did he say isn't?
Isn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, let's go back.
Go back and listen. I could have sworn he said isn't.
Is important to us, and we stress that.
That's UNC football coach.
Wait, so he wouldn't say isn't important, and we stress that. Like he would go, your conduct outside of here isn't important. I can't stress that enough. I understand it sounds like he said isn't, but I don't
think so.
I don't think he's saying your conduct outside of here. I can't stress enough how much I don't care about it.
That's what it sounds like.
Of course it does, because his tongue's tired from futilely trying to please that woman.
Well, it's difficult for her too, Fred. She won't reach sexual maturity for about 8 more years. She doesn't even know what she wants yet.
You don't know how good Bill is at this. He might be very good.
Is important to us, and we stress that.
That's UNC football coach Bill Belichick last year, reacting to a WRAL investigation into a surge in reckless driving and speeding tickets among his players. Since January of this year, 5 players have 10 tickets totaling 16 charges, including 2 for reckless driving and 10 for speeding. Jelani Thurman, one of UNC's highest-rated transfers from Ohio State, has been pulled over 4 times since January 19th. He was cited twice for reckless driving, including 1 stop when he was going 105 miles per hour in a 65.
That's good. Start playing around with your health when that's all that really matters, your physical health.
Biology professor Mark Pfeiffer has his own concerns about the driving and parking habits of UNC football players since Belichick arrived on campus. For months, Pfeiffer has been documenting who he believes to be UNC football players constantly parking in handicapped parking spaces on campus.
Oh, Jordan's going to be on this guy's case. Jordan is going to want the public information on the emails coming out of this biology professor's place. In fairness, the biology professor seems kind of like a dick. He's keeping tabs on these players.
Yeah.
It's like maybe you could do without that.
One of those vehicles belongs to Damon June, UNC's leading returning rusher. The license plate on the green Dodge Charger matches June 3rd citations, which includes getting clocked at 101 miles per hour in March. Pfeiffer says something needs to change, and that starts with action from the football staff.
Things just seem to be completely out of control. But I do know that if somebody got benched...
Wait a second. But Bill Belichick wouldn't let that happen, Aaron Hernandez. Yeah. I mean, he's got a good track record of keeping his guys in line, Aaron Hernandez, who killed people while he was a member of the team. Remember that?
I remember.
But you remember that he had all the gang tattoos that they were aware of at his connections to the gangs in Bristol when they drafted him? Yeah, he's good at that. He's good at keeping people in line.
Right. And then keeping a watchful eye over them.
He's a character-first guy, Aaron Hernandez. Yeah. Aaron Hernandez, first-round talent, didn't get taken until later in the draft because people were afraid of him. They knew damn well what he was up to.
Even if they got a multi-million-dollar NIL deal, they probably would listen.
So in a statement to WRAL about our findings, the Carolina Athletic Department wrote, "We work with our athletic programs to ensure that players are educated about driving safety. We will continue to work with all of our teams on safe driving education."
Well, it took Lombardi a long time to spit that out on his typewriter.
Yeah.
Because Lombardi is proud of himself because he uses his typewriter as if in some way that makes him an intellectual, which is something that a 4-year-old would say.
But I do it on the typewriter.
I can't tell you how much I think about that in my personal life. That guy is such a moron. He's an adult with a job that he thinks because he uses a typewriter that somehow makes the things that he types important. Do you know how dumb that is?
You need to be able to slow your mind down.
It will occur to me like at 3:00 in the afternoon. I'll be driving and I'll go, that moron really thinks that he's doing something special with that typewriter.
I have to think about what I want to write about.
Well, how about you think about it? Just think about it in your brain, you bozo. Think about it.
You can delete the mistake.
Yeah, that's good. It's called editing, stupid.
I'm just working on my to-do list.
You know, it's all these authors, you know what? They just do it in one sitting. They just sit down and they crank out those books. There's no painstaking editing that takes years. No. It's just spit it off the top of your head, you stupid idiot.
Ultimately is what this job's all about, thinking.
Well, you don't work on a factory. Oh. You know, I mean, what job doesn't involve thinking, you idiot?
Fred, we have the email segment coming up. Would you like something to add to that?
Yeah.
I just received a call from Cedric Maxwell. He first asked if the show was still on the air because he doesn't know when the show ends. So I informed him that it ends at 10.
Big fan.
Which is good.
Yeah. Or maybe they canceled the show after his last appearance of the season on Friday.
And then he wanted to know if we talked about the Victor Wembanyama story at all this morning. I said, yeah, we touched on it a little bit. He would like very much to get on with you guys and talk about the Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
We're going to get him on the line for the email segment next.
All right, very good.
Maxwell.
All right, so we'll have Cedric Maxwell. We'll be back in just a moment.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Our wonderful email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. Last night, Victor Wembanyama was kicked out of the Spurs Timberwolves game. He elbowed Naz Reid above the neck. And Cedric Maxwell, our good friend, we thought it was going to be the last time we talked to him on Friday, but he is back. Cedric, hello. We are indeed on the air.
Yeah. I just wanted to know what you guys thought of that. I actually was driving down to North Carolina and stopped here in Philadelphia, going to a fabric store this morning, and I hadn't seen the elbow. And I'd heard about it, and I saw it once I got in the room here, and I was like, whoa. And I just wanted to know you guys' opinion. I was like, what do you think that he should be? So I'll ask you, what was you guys' opinions?
Well, I mean, I'm generally of the mindset that they should be allowed to play, especially in the playoffs, and I love the old school basketball. It's the fact that he kind of looks to see where Naz Reid is.
Yeah, you look back over your shoulder to make sure the guy's there, then you hit him in the face.
Before
Not a
he
good
throws
look.
the elbow, it's tough to excuse that one. It's tough to accept that one as like, it's just hard-nosed playoff basketball. Yeah. I'd rather have Wembanyama in the game. It would have been more interesting to watch the rest of that game. But
Also, he wasn't all too broken up about being ejected, Max.
Well, he didn't know. It had never happened to him to the degree that he asked someone on the bench, what's going on and what does that mean? It's not a joke. He said, what does that mean? And
upon finding out, he just kind of nodded his head and walked off. It wasn't like, my God, how can I call that? So.
I mean, there wasn't anything else I think he could do, and once I saw the elbow and the intent, and if you're the NBA, what do? I just talked to a couple of buddies of mine. One buddy, Lester Connor, used to be assistant coach. He's like, well, it's just a flagrant two, and it's just that one game. I don't know. Do you suspend him for another game?
No.
I mean, no?
No.
Really?
No.
Really? That shot? I mean, what happened if the guy's teeth got knocked? I mean, that was one of the most brutal elbows I've seen in a long time. And the intent was there. It wasn't like it was like you just, you're doing your elbows. It's like he lined him up and he called a good one. And I was like, after they had slapped him in the head, it was retaliation. But do we kill the golden goose? I mean, I'm just really curious.
Well, Max, I don't think it has anything to do with like Wembanyama's value to the league or to the series or anything like that.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on there, Sherlock.
Okay.
You don't think that he looks at Wembanyama his value to the league? Come on. Are you serious? He's your golden goose. Do you throw him out of a game? I think it has a lot to do with that. If that had been another player, a lesser player in that situation, and they had elbowed somebody like that in the mouth, flagrant two, and a suspension for a game. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, to me, it is – you can't look at it in a vacuum. And the way they're playing defense against Wembanyama, and I don't know if they're going to look at it to this extent, but he's obviously getting frustrated. And they are, they're getting away with a lot of tiny hacks and things that, no, I don't think they should all be called fouls. But he got fouled, when they were reaching for the ball, probably twice on that one play. And it's been happening all game. It's been happening throughout the series. And it kind of snapped. So if they factor that in, they're like, okay, it's not like he just decided to cold cock a guy. He was reacting to the tough defense they've been playing on him. And I'm sure you're right, Max. You understand how the league works better than I do, and they will factor that in terms of what it would mean for viewership in the league and everything else. But I also think they should look at the context of it and say, like, okay, they've been at him now for 4 games, and he finally popped.
Well, that's what they're going to do. But what you're saying basically is like if Isaiah Stewart did it, he'd be suspended for multiple games.
Well, he got history. That's history there with Isaiah Stewart. That's the only difference I see in this is that Wemby doesn't have history of that. But still, the way he lined him up and the way he hit him, as John Wallach's wife would say, does that make it right because they slapped him a couple of times on the arm? No. That is one of those things where the guy lined him up and he cold cocked him. And me and my cousin were looking at it, and I know we can't see. I do it like this. When we first saw it, we said, "Oh, poo-poo." That's what we said when we saw it. We were like, that is unbelievable the way he hit him, because I was thinking, like, why would they throw Wembanyama out of a game for elbowing somebody? Until I saw it, and I was like, whoa. And you hear the announcers do the same thing. So it's a little bit more. But, again, this is a slippery slope because, again, I think that for me, there's the way he hit him and also the fact that he is who he is. You're not going to suspend him for more than one game, so I think it's crazy.
And the other part of it is, Max, Reed wasn't hurt. I think they're going to factor that in also. Rightly or wrongly.
What his feelings were hurt, John? What do you think? He got hit in the mouth. He wasn't hurt?
My point, not to the point where he had to leave the game and get treated. And he'll be back and playing next game also. That's what I mean.
Cedric, I have a question for you. Call
him Sherlock.
If you, if you're Minnesota or you're any team now that plays San Antonio in the playoffs, are you actively trying to set him off like that again?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So he made it worse.
Absolutely.
So the notion that by him elbowing Naz Reid that he was like making a statement because the San Antonio coach tried to spin in a million ways, obviously, which is his job. But the idea that he did that being fighting in hockey, like where this is a deterrent to doing this to me again, will have the opposite effect that now people are going to try even harder to get him off his game physically.
Oh, no question. If you are another team and you look at, you said, I'm trying to get under this guy's, I'm trying to get in his head. And so what do I do to get in that wig of his and get him off kilter? You do anything you can to get, a competitive advantage if you're trying to win the championship. So for me, I understand why he retaliated, but at the same time, other teams are looking at that as an opportunity to get their best player and get him kicked out of a game.
Yeah, like if I got to eat an elbow to get this guy out of a game. And by the way, what if Minnesota loses that game, Cedric? They kick Wembanyama out early, and then you end up losing that game.
Almost happened.
Holy moly. Yeah.
Let me use that line again. What are you talking about, Sherlock?
That would not have been good. I can tell you that. That would have been very bad. Well, if Cedric thinks it was violent, it was violent.
To call in. I just had to call in because I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about what would have happened during the 80s and the 70s. Oh, my God, it would have been warfare out there. And going under a guy, and they would have found it, and you could rest assured on the next play down, oh, my God, it was somebody coming off the bench flying with the elbow back to his head. So, oh man, I love it. I think this is good. I think it actually is good for the NBA because I've always thought that the more that you have in a game like that, I think the more the fan base kind of gets riled up about it. So for me, I think it's really good for the NBA. But at the same time, I want to know how the commissioner is going to spin this. This ought to be really good.
Max, one more thing. We were talking earlier this morning. Do you think Celtics fans should feel better or worse about the Sixers being swept in the second round? Should they feel good like, ha, that's what you get? Or, oh, no, I can't believe that the team that beat our guys just got swept?
I go with the second one. It's like I can't, and I've said this, and a couple of Sixer fans have reached out to me before. I was like, how the hell do they lay an egg in the next series and not even compete and then play their asses off against the Celtics? And I thought that the Sixers had an opportunity to maybe beat the Knicks if they played the way they played against the Celtics. Paul George disappeared. You didn't have anything hombre. You didn't have anything. You look at Maxey. Maxey wasn't who he was. It was so many ways. It's like they just laid down. And I happen to be here in Philly, so I'm going to be talking a lot of noise today here in Philadelphia while I'm here. But, my God, that was horrible. And if I'm a Celtic fan, I'm sick right now if I'm a Celtic. The fact that we lost to these, let me say it right now, we lost to these bums. That's what they would say. We lost to these bums, and they couldn't do what they did right now to New York. And New York would have, it definitely would have been a lot more competitive, obviously with the Celtics. But, man, what a gift that is to the New York Knicks fans.
Yeah, it was an ugly series, and it looks bad for the Celtics. But the big question is, have you gotten your fabrics that you were searching for?
Going today. We're on our way today. This morning we're going to a fabric store, and this is where I take a little bit of time off and I do a manly thing. I go to a fabric store. I'm looking to make suits and ties for the upcoming years as I get older. So fabric looking today.
He's looking for something to be buried in, is what he's trying to do.
I'm like a young Johnny Wallach today. I'm happy to be looking for colors.
All right, that's right. John is very feminine. There's no question. All right, Cedric Maxwell. Whenever you want to call in, my friend, the offer is on the table. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for indulging me off this rant. I was on. I'll probably be on later on. Sometimes Shannon Sharp had me on the other day for about 2 hours talking to him, and Ocho Cinco was absolutely crazy one night. But I get more pleasure out of talking to you guys when I come on, because I can I just wanted to see how you guys felt, and also the fact that the Celtics ended up losing to Philly, and Philly just laid a damn egg. That was horrible.
It was terrible. All right, Cedric, whenever you want, just give us a call. All right.
All right, gentlemen, have a good one. Thank you.
See you, Max.
All right, appreciate it. The great Cedric Maxwell, who does listen to the show, but not enough to know when we get off the air. By the way, the new Thuppets video is up.
Yes.
I just noticed that. I looked at my Instagram and I saw the new Thuppets video is up. Hardy has made a new Thuppets video. It focuses on a very controversial thing that I've done. That I did in the past.
Controversy.
You can see it at Toucher and Hardy on Instagram, and I take it on Twitter too, at Hardy985 and at Fred Toucher. The newest Thuppets video is out. Hardy has used many props in this one. There's a lot of props.
It's true.
He's really leaning into giving me the business.
That was an intense shoot.
And I had a friend who I sent when you sent it yesterday, I had a friend that I texted it to, and they go, Team Hardy and Wallach, you're ridiculous with that light. And I went, what the hell did I do? Why aren't you on my side on this thing? All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
As John Wallach's wife would say, does that make it right?
I didn't even have a retort. That came so out of left field, I didn't even know what was going on.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't either. So,
because usually the Wallach's wife thing is that he thinks she's hot.
Yeah.
That I understand. But that one I didn't get.
Now
he's kind of forced it.
Now he's just invoking her wisdom.
Yeah. Well, he's all about her mind, Well,
he's opening a fortune cookie business, and he is looking for writers.
Yeah.
He's been pursuing her pretty hard. All right, Hardy, what do you have for us as we finish up this award-winning show today?
A couple of music notes here. Congratulations to Red Hot Chili Peppers. They have a deal to sell their catalog to WMG in a joint venture with Bain Capital. So
that's a local company, Bain Capital.
I think. Isn't that Wick Grousepeck?
But no.
So I don't
think it's Bain, a guy named Bain.
Earlier, Red Hot Chili Peppers had sold their publishing rights for $140 million.
But they sold their souls to heroin.
And now they're selling the rights to their recorded catalog, which are two separate things. I don't quite understand how it works.
All I understand is this all speaks to their love of art that they've droned on and on about for 50 years.
What's the price tag on their recorded catalog sale price?
$40 million.
How about $300?
Okay.
No.
So there's a pretty good documentary on Netflix about Hillel Slovak. That was the first guitar player for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He died of a heroin overdose. And if you think of the record industry at the time, the idea that those guys held a major label record contract for those first 3 albums is really something else. I mean, they're terrible. And I know that they got a lot of attention because they put socks on their penises and performed like that. But objectively, certainly their first 2 albums are almost unlistenable, and they were unlistenable at the time.
And they were on Warner Brothers, like they were on like Maverick, you know. Like
so it was the Red Hot Chili Peppers was the first album, and Freaky Styley was the second album. Uplift Mofo Party Plan was the third, and that had like actual songs on it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, their masterpiece, in my opinion, is Mother's Milk, which I thought was fantastic. It's a little embarrassing to listen to now, some of the songs, but you have to remember at the time, it was fairly innovative. They were not the band out of the bands in the LA scene that were with them that should have made it the biggest, but they did it.
Another music note here is that fans are starting to get a little upset with artists who are canceling shows or even full tours due to what they call the blue dot problem. And the blue dot problem refers to the blue dots that you see on seats that indicate they're empty for shows when you go to buy the shows online. And if you're looking at buying tickets for a show with a lot of blue dots, don't hang your hat on actually going to that show, because those shows are the ones that end up getting canceled. Post Malone, Meghan Trainor, Demi Lovato, Pussycat Dolls, they've all had cancellations. Pussycat Dolls receiving the most credit for it, for just coming out and saying, yeah, we didn't sell enough tickets, so we have to cancel the tour.
Right, it wasn't going to make them money. They were going to lose money by going on the tour. It's an economic decision.
Right.
In the Pussycat Dolls, I mean, that was a bold choice for a promoter to get behind that with the idea of them selling tickets, as if a manufactured band that I don't recall having a hit song.
Oh, no.
It was going to reform in some nostalgic way and sell out, I take it, arenas. I would like to know the promoter that got behind that and thought that that was a good idea or in any way was going to work. And
but they're saying now, like, well, why aren't people buying tickets? 2 reasons. The average ticket price has gone from $86 to over $120. Plus, they say everybody is touring this year. It's a full summer concert schedule, and if they're especially destination shows and you factor in travel and lodging and stuff, people are like, well, I can afford to go to one big concert this summer, and if you're making me choose, it's not going to be, you know, one of these people that I've either seen before for a much less ticket price, or I'd like to, I can't afford it.
Would you like to hear something without hyperbole? So what people are doing now is they're picking regional places, and then they're like setting up shop for 4 or 5 nights. 3, 4, 5 nights. Ariana Grande is doing that in Boston. Mm-hmm. It's the most expensive ticket I've ever seen in my entire life.
How much?
Secondary market, thousands of dollars. It's like insanity.
Ariana Grande.
Because I guess she's not playing New York or Philadelphia or something along those lines. Okay. She's playing Boston.
Okay.
And so if you want to go see Ariana Grande and you want to drive to the show, like be able to get there in a vehicle, you are required to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, I spoil my daughter, but I did not buy tickets to Ariana Grande. I'm like, no. And I just took her to Bruno Mars. I'm taking her to A$AP Rocky. I'm taking her to Olivia Rodrigo.
Mm-hmm.
If you want lower bowl for Ariana Grande, Wednesday, July 22nd at the Garden, $1,100 each. You can get balcony for $810 each.
Oh. I mean, it's ludicrous. Like, I got tickets, really good tickets, to see Bruno Mars for $320. I mean, I'm not paying $1,000, like, with the fees and everything, which they've lowered, but $2,000 a ticket, $5,000 all in to go see Ariana Grande. And by the way, these VIP packages are really something. You get to take a picture in front of a thing that says VIP.
Well, you also get exclusive access to the merch. You can go buy your merch without having to wait in a long line.
Well, I'll tell you, I've never seen anything run more efficiently than the merch lines at these concerts. It's unbelievable. They got 20 people working and they're flying.
Oh, it's like Chick-fil-A.
Like there was a line that probably had 200 people in it. I was in it for 15 minutes.
Wow.
Oh, it was fantastic.
I had a question. Why's Belichick's tongue get tired?
He's performing on his girl.
I thought he had like one of those. What's a lollipop? How many licks does it take to get it? Tootsie Pop?
Tootsie Pop? Yeah. Really?
That my dad's agency made that commercial.
Like 3, 1, 2, 3.
Really?
WB Donor. And my dad didn't write it, but that was their campaign.
Huh.
All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.